Hello and welcome, Infinite Ahimsa Haven fam, to your Puraka breath tutorial, also known as single inhalation. So, this is one of the two types of Puraka breath that we are going to be covering, and today is solely focused on the diaphragm. So, the diaphragmatic inhalation, which is the dome space behind our ribs. So we're really going to be focused on breathing awareness into this space specifically. And I challenge you in this tutorial to really focus on observing the breath as it comes in versus forcing the breath in any way. So I find that in a lot of breath tutorials, when our main focus is on the breath, we almost feel this sense, this ego taking over where we need to force the breath or we need to overtake the breath. And a lot of the times all we really need to do is bring awareness, and ultimately that is the goal today. So I wanted to share a quote before moving forward. BKS Iyengar describes it best, specifically around Puraka and the single inhalation, and it goes, the intake of cosmic energy by the individual for his growth and progress. And that is truly what pranayama is all about, the intake of cosmic energy, that prana, that life force energy, and bringing awareness to how powerful the breath really is. So, to get started today, I highly recommend having some water nearby or just going ahead and drinking some. It's very important to be hydrated. Grab a thin pillow, or you can fold up a blanket or a towel, just thin, to go underneath your head. And to get started, we're going to start on our backs. So you can just adjust yourself and bring your back slowly back onto your mat against the earth. Position yourself so that the pillow is just under your head, not fully under your neck, just under your head. Make sure you're comfortable. Bring your knees to about hip distance apart. And begin to place both of your hands over your womb, your belly, your abdomen region. You can close down the eyes now and begin to observe as you inhale the oxygen and the space that is created in your womb. And on your exhale, begin to observe how that rush of air then flows up through your stomach, up through your chest, and out of your mouth. And then your belly begins to deflate. Really take time to observe what this inhalation does. Feeling the natural rise and the natural deflation as your exhale is pushed up from the belly all the way up through your spine and the front of your stomach, up through your chest and out through your mouth. Notice and start to bring attention to that diaphragm region, those dome-like spaces behind your ribs. So try and apply focus to this area and have the breath come from the diaphragm. So as you're inhaling, notice that the breath is creating space in this area and then moving down to your belly and the different parts of your body. So notice how when you breathe, the diaphragm is lifting first, and then it's moving the oxygen down to the belly. Just observing how this feels, becoming aware of things that more than likely you don't think about on a regular basis. We just wake up and we breathe, and that's just natural for us, and that's incredible. So when we actually bring awareness to this process that's happening within our body, wonders start to occur. So just continue to observe your breath, breathing in through the diaphragm and out through the mouth. Really on that exhale, bringing in that theme of surrender and surrendering your spine and your tailbone and your belly into the earth. Just feel it melt as you exhale out with one soothing breath. I challenge you now with this inhalation, this focus on this inhalation coming from the diaphragm. Try to breathe space into different parts of your belly. So instead of just allowing the breath to flow in one steady stream and expand throughout the whole belly, try to breathe space in just the right side of your stomach and see how that feels. Send energy and focus and space into that right side. Notice how you can control where your breath goes, where your intention is placed. Begin now to move your breath into the left side of your stomach. And observe how breathing into the left may feel different than the right. How does that feel? Maybe try to breathe now into the lower portion of your belly. Sending love and intention and energy to that lower portion of your womb. Maybe shift that focus now to the top of your belly, so just right below the diaphragm, sending your oxygen specifically to above the navel area. And then holding your breath there, your inhalation there, and slowly exhaling. Once you've taken some time playing with your inhale and the different areas of your womb, I welcome you now to place your hands on your ribs, over top of your ribs, just like so, on either side. And focus on breathing once again from this diaphragm region. But instead of allowing the breath to flow down to the abdomen, try and keep the breath in the diaphragm area and feel how your ribs expand. Really connect and bring awareness to this area. Inhale from the diaphragm. And notice how you're filling up this top half of your body now, rather than having the breath flow down. The bottom portion of your stomach is still receiving oxygen, but you're really sending intention to this top area. Slowly melting into your mat on your exhalation. A few more times, just like that, gaining awareness and control over this energy of your breath. Noticing your lung capacity increasing with each inhale and round of exhale. One more, right into the diaphragm region. Beautiful. Release your hands. And I welcome you now, this is going to be different, to shift your body now over onto your stomach. Place the belly down onto the earth. You can just keep your pillow where it is and kind of set your forearms, or maybe even push your pillow off of the mat. And just place your forearms flush on your mat, kind of like you're in a Sphinx pose, but not quite as activated. And begin to again breathe from the diaphragm and move that oxygen into your belly, and observe how it feels now that you're on your belly. There's going to be a little added pressure, but just observe how it feels for you. Breathing in and sending oxygen down to your womb. Breathing out, feeling the belly deflate and your spine melt down into the earth. Just explore how this feels for you at a rhythm that feels good for you. Maybe begin to play with the length, the speed, and the texture. If you can imagine the texture of your breath. Maybe you begin to inhale a little faster. Maybe you lengthen your exhales because that feels good. Maybe you lengthen your inhales and breathe more oxygen into all areas of your body. As your lung capacity is increasing, the more you bring focus to your breath. Maybe you lower your forehead down, create a pillow with your hands, and just lower your forehead down over your hands and continue to explore with this breath into your womb, from your diaphragm. Exploring again, sending intention to that right side of your belly. How does it feel now that you're lying on your belly? Does it feel different than from when you were breathing into your right side on your back? Just observe. We're here today to just observe, not force, and surrender to the breath, surrender to what is. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly ease your way up from lying down And slowly turn yourself back onto your back. You can bring your pillow closer if you had moved it over. Come back into that same position with your knees hip distance apart. Lay your head back onto your pillow. Bring your hands over your ribs. And we're just going to finish this off with 3 surrendering breaths, with the inhalations coming from the diaphragm. So everything that you've learned now, put it into these last 3 breaths together. Inhale in, expand from the diaphragm. Feel the ribs press against the fingers. Exhale, feel the ribs fall and melt into the spine. Two more, just like that, at your own pace. Inhale in, trying to make sure that the oxygen and the air is staying in the top portion of your body. Exhale, release. Melt into your mat. And the last one, I challenge you to expand your inhalation for as long as you can. Inhale in, expand, expand, expand until you can no longer. Pause for a moment. Exhale, slowly release. Lower down the palms. Open up your eyes and take in the surroundings around you. And I welcome you to stay here in this space for as long as you need, maybe coming down into a shavasana, maybe going from now into a meditation. It's a beautiful time to do so. Or maybe just reflecting upon this practice in your journal through one of the journal prompts shared in the community space. I hope you gained some awareness, some knowledge, some connection with your breath from this practice. And I will see you on the mat next week for another beautiful asana, meditation, and pranayama practice. Namaste.